6 days to the Backlash pay-per-view, Raw was coming tonight in front of over 17,000 in a new market with the first ever Raw in Denver, selling out the Pepsi Center in less than 40 minutes months in advance, with Taker and Kane opening Raw after winning the tag belts from Edge and Christian on Thursday to put all the belts on the line in the Backlash main event, with the pay-per-view, which had no matches announced up until last week, would be set to sell entirely on the Austin and Hunter vs. Taker and Kane main event, with all the titles in one match, and Kurt Angle vs. Chris Benoit in a 30-minute submission match placed second from the top, with Taker laughing in response to Triple H declaring him and Austin as the two most dominant men in the WWF while calling them out to prove it tonight, saying that Sunday is about the titles and tonight they can have a preview match to find out who are the most dominant team, bringing out Edge and Christian for the distraction to set up another Austin and Hunter beatdown, attacking them from behind, kicking off Raw with a 4.3 rating, with the 18-minute segment picking up viewers throughout to finish at a 4.8 in the second quarter. As Jim Ross publicly confirmed Saturday, June 9 to be the official start date for the new WCW brand just last week, some things WCW related did not change even under the new ownership, with plans changing again during the week to delay the relaunch of the company, with JR after days in Atlanta with over 30 meetings with all departments of WCW employees saying that the relaunch has been pushed back to a later date after realizing the work needed to start the brand from scratch, with JR also hinting again that no deal would be possible with the top WCW names unless they accept a buyout from Time Warner before starting negotiations, saying that they currently have 24 wrestlers on the roster and plan to add more top names, but adding that unreasonable contract demands or other financial matters might not allow it to happen, practically removing any possibility of signing Goldberg, Sting, Nash, Steiner, Flair, etc. until at least the start of 2002, unless they unreasonably accept a far lesser deal to work with the company instead of earning far more while sitting at home, with the new plan for the brand also including moving the original late-night Saturday time slot into a more attractive Wednesday prime-time slot on TNN, hoping to use the leverage created with the network after the latest cable report saw TNN almost exclusively driven by Raw finishing number 7 in primetime cable ratings charts for the first quarter of 2001, a massive increase of 130% from last year to by far the highest spot in its history, with TNN crediting Raw for putting the network on the map while noting the April 2nd show as the most watched broadcast in its 18-year history. Steve Austin and Triple H were back out for the Backlash main event, selling promo with Hunter saying that they proved again to be the two most dominant men in the WWF after again laying out Taker and Kane earlier tonight, followed by Austin running down the crowd before calling them out to not wait until Sunday to instead bring out the Hardys, as Taker and Kane followed moments later, with Austin and Hunter bailing through the crowd just as Mick Foley showed up in WWF New York to make an announcement, saying that in the contract he signed in December he can make a main event match for any Raw show he chooses, picking tonight to set up an 8-man tag match with Austin, Hunter, Edge and Christian against Taker, Kane and the Hardys for the main event, with this segment bumping Raw over 700,000 viewers into the 5 rating range for the first time on the night, with a first hour high 5.4 rating. Minutes after the Big Star Power promo segment to set up the main event for the night, Raw opened the second hour with the majority of the 10 to 10:15 quarter featuring a hyped first-time ever tag team submission match with Kurt Angle and William Regal against Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit, with the match despite JR and Heyman heavily promoting it throughout the hour as a must-see match, ending up going only 2 minutes as preview for the 2 singles pay-per-view matches on Sunday, ending with Benoit going over Regal with the crossface with the quarter despite following the big increase for the previous segment, not only maintaining the audience but increasing further to the highest rated quarter of the night, 5.5 rating. A notable viewership pattern on the night that almost never took place during Raw's peak run in the past 3 years was both the first and second hours having almost identical number of viewers, with both drawing 6.5 and 6.6 million viewers, not having the usual pattern of the second hour picking up big either due to it being a more loaded up hour in 98 and 99 or due to Nitro going off the air since January 2000. With the company after the massive drop for Smackdown on April 12 to one of the lowest rated shows in its history, breathing a sigh of relief with last Thursday's Smackdown built around the Austin and Hunter vs. Taker and Kane feud with a Taker and Kane vs. Edge and Christian tag titles main event, seeing the show rebounding almost 1 million viewers from a near-record low 3.7 rating with 5.8 million viewers to a more routine figure of 4.2 rating with over 6.7 million viewers, with Raw's average rating for the second hour being brought down by the usual commercial-heavy down period midway through the hour just before the main event, with the final 2 quarters dropping over 500,000 viewers to 5.1 and 5 ratings. With the first XFL season ending Saturday night with what is expected to be the league's final NBC broadcast, with the network said to pull out of its original 2-season contract, the championship game saw no major increase over its recent average and ended up drawing a 2.1 rating with 2.9 million viewers, with Vince McMahon after the expected tens of millions in startup losses and declining numbers almost weekly without its biggest platform in NBC, would now re-evaluate the future of the league to either continue for a second season or cut losses and move on from the project, as Raw's 8-man tag main event saw a fast-paced match with Austin laying out Matt Hardy with a stunner to go over, gaining over 800,000 viewers to peak the night with a 5.6 rating in the 7-minute overrun, as Raw, after the last 3 weeks of declining figures across the board following the record numbers for WrestleMania week in late March to early April, stopped the slide on the night, with Raw maintaining a 5.1 rating overall heading into the pay-per-view Sunday.